This is the story of when my dad stole my saving from me at 15. Background: growing up we never got allowances because you live in this house you should want to clean up. Okay, that's fair. But every time we got money from family members for birthdays or Christmas he would take it or force us to spend. I remember one time I got $5 from my grandparents and I wanted to save it because I got inspired by a cartoon I was watching at the time. I was 8. We ran out of milk and he asked for me for the money, and when I told him no and I wanted to save it, he called me selfish and a gold digger for making him spend money instead of using my own for something I wanted. This was his go-to phrase. We were kids and the most we ever asked him was food, that's it, but apparently kids are supposed to pay for their own groceries and food. When I was 11 I started seeing my mom again, and every time she would give me money, $20 or $50 here and there, and for birthday and Christmas she would give us $100 plus. My siblings always spent there as soon as we get it, but I saved most of mine because I was inspired by a cartoon. When I was 15 I saved up $1,000 and was super excited because I felt like it was accomplishment. Well, one day when I came home from a visit with my mom to deposit money in my cookie jar, all the money was gone. I flipped out, panicking. I went to my siblings and asked about the money. They denied taking and didn't even know where I hid it. I told my dad about it and he said that he took it. When I asked why, he said that back rent for loving here and me spending my money on me. I stood there shook as he went on a rant calling me selfish for having money and forcing him to spend his money on me. He called me selfish, ugly, and the R word because of my ADHD. I believed him and didn't say anything and went to my room and cried. I didn't tell anyone and believed it was my fault. Now I'm older I realized I should have told my grandparents and they would have dropped a hammer on him, because my grandfather especially hates thieves and thinks it disgusting my dad did that. BTW, my grandparents know he likes take money from us, but never this extreme. They taught my siblings and I how to hide money and secretly slip each other cash, and would tell us to hide money from him. When they found out they condemn him and scold him, and after that he never stole money from us again. Edit to add: 1. I do not live with my father anymore, I live with my BF now. 2. I am in therapy and therapy made me realize how bad my childhood was and how isolated my father made me to not reach out to family or professionals for help. Look, I love my father and he not perfect. He raised us ourselves after my mom chose drugs over us and stole money from us that almost end up with us losing our home and me and my siblings in foster care. I understand the pressure he was on, but I'm not excusing his behavior and I just hope he changes for the better. 3. Don't blame my grandparents for not doing anything. I found out from talking to my grandfather he'd been lying to them about it, and when I finally spoke to them and showed them what was going on, video recording, that's when he was unleashed on my dad. 4. If you wondering what TV show inspired me to start saving money, it was Baby Looney Tunes, the episode where the kids wanted to buy ice cream but didn't have any money, so Granny made them do chores in exchange for quarters every week for ice cream, but instead Melissa wouldn't use her quarters to buy ice cream and chose to save them. The other kids made fun of her for it until one day the ice cream man came with a sundae that costed more than what the other could afford, and Melissa was the only one who could afford it. The others end up apologizing to her and they all share the sundae. Just met an M who called me arrogant for not letting her kids pet my anxious dog. I moved to my current home almost 2 years ago. We have a big house and yard, and therefore we decided to get a big dog. BC, we felt capable of providing him a decent life. His name is Milo and he just turned 1. Milo was rescued as a puppy. He was abused and neglected before. There's a local animal rescue team and my parents have financially supported them for a while, so once we decided to adopt another dog we got Milo, who was rescued from them, and he has grown into a big and healthy guy since. However, he has his flaws. He can be very anxious towards strangers, especially kids. If a stranger gets too close to him he will bite. It has gotten better over time, but sometimes he still gets anxious. And again, especially kids if they're being loud and energetic. So I see it as my responsibility to have a certain control over that in order to not harm anyone, no matter how much he has improved. I was walking him today. My village is pretty small, so we just see a few people passing by. He doesn't get nervous around them anymore. Until 3 kids and a woman walk by, seeing them from far away, and one of the kids immediately comes hopping towards my dog who was already in a defense position, and I stopped the little boy just in time by being like, "Hey, stop." I tried to be gentle and told him about Milo not liking strangers and that he can bite. But I told him I have another dog at home who would love to get to know him. The boy was kind of accepting of it. I tried to cheer him up by saying maybe we will see each other when I'm walking around with my other dog. He's really fluffy and loves to be pet. And everything was cool until another kid came hopping and my dog backed away. I was just like, "Oh, careful, careful," and the boy pushed that little girl aside. The mom came closer and without me even speaking a word she just said, "Hey, why are you not letting them pet it?" They love dogs, so I politely explained how it is. That Milo can be dangerous even though he may not look like he is. She just shook her head and said something along the lines of, "Well, if he's so dangerous you shouldn't walk him around the village." I mean, Milo hid behind me and with an encouraged face after her mom's words the little girl tried to get close to me, so I said no, in a stern voice, and held my dog close to me. That made the girl walk to her mom, the boy slowly following. That Em looked at me as if I just destroyed her life. She was mad. I decided I was uncomfortable, so I said bye and walked away. She yelled from a distance, "Arrogant poss, you can go somewhere else with your dog instead of abusing children," so yay. I did it, guys. I found the village Karen. Yay. Edit. It's also important to say that when we are walking it's only in places where the road isn't narrow and where we can keep a certain distance from other people. So let me tell you, if people are walking close to other people, that's a choice. Mom yells and slaps me for talking about my feelings. For context, I F-17 temporarily moved out to my grandma's house right across the street. For more context, I am Asian. My parents left overseas when I was 4 and they only came home permanently when I was 16. I will be turning 18 this year. My grandma raised me. Them not being present affected me a lot, and it resulted in me not being an affectionate person, having trouble keeping friends, and keeping all my problems to myself. The reason for me moving out is because my dad M42 constantly belittles me and freaks out way too much when I do something like leaving a glass in the table. He insults me constantly when he tries to discipline me. And when he sees me he purposely says I don't care about her or she can do whatever she wants. I don't care. I've been staying at my grandma's for a month and I've become really depressed because of my parents, my dad especially, for the way he treats me. But I was really upset when my mom never even reached out or tried to talk to me. Today I'm moving back to my house because my auntie is coming back from Singapore and she will be staying there. When I moved back, I tried talking to my mom and opening up my feelings. I said, "Why didn't you check up on me or message me at least once?" And she said, "Why would I?" Basically saying why would she check up on me when I never messaged her first. She also said the fight was between me and my dad, so why would she get involved? I yelled, "She's my mom, that's why she should get involved." I asked why didn't she message me at least once and ask if I'm okay. She just said, "So you're blaming me?" And I replied saying I just wanted to be comforted and you didn't do anything. Then when I was just trying to explain my feelings about what I feel about dad, she said, "Why are you saying this to me?" So I said, "I'm just trying to open up about my feelings. If you don't care then don't listen." She said some other things like my mom said hurtful things to me too, but I didn't say anything back. I wanted to say, "So it's okay for you to treat me like that." But I stopped myself. I yelled, "I'm just trying to open up about my feelings," but then she got mad and said I'm disrespectful. Slapped me in my arm a bunch of times, then she slapped me in the face.